It looked like just another race slipping away. Lewis Hamilton was sliding on intermediate tires, stuck in traffic, watching the McLarens disappear into the distance. His Ferrari wouldn't turn through the corners, full lock at turn 12, full lock at turn 16, and still no grip. A Williams was creeping up behind him, another car was lining up to pass. The same story again, but this time Hamilton made a call. Bold, desperate, instinctive. I was going nowhere, so I said, let's just go for it. And that decision changed everything. In the chaos that followed, crashes, spins, and last-minute pit stops, Hamilton emerged from the storm to grab a surprise podium. Third place, a lifeline, and maybe, just maybe, the spark Ferrari was waiting for. So what does this podium mean? Is it just luck or the start of a real turnaround? Let's break it down, and you might see why Hamilton left Miami smiling again. Just 2 weeks earlier in Jeddah, Lewis Hamilton looked defeated. The results weren't coming, the car wasn't responding, and Ferrari seemed lost in development. After a strong win in the Chinese sprint, many expected a wave of progress. But that wave never arrived. Instead came frustration, radio silence, and the feeling that the SF25 had already hit its ceiling. By the time the Miami sprint weekend began, expectations were low. Hamilton qualified in P7, while teammate Charles Leclerc would soon crash on the intermediates before the race even started. Ferrari's momentum, gone. But then, amid chaos and changing weather, Hamilton took control of the narrative. When others hesitated, he made the call. Pit early, switch to slicks, and risk it all. And as the field scrambled behind him, his pace shocked everyone, from 7th to 3rd, in a car that wasn't turning minutes before. A risk that turned into a statement: Hamilton isn't done. And maybe, Ferrari isn't either. In a sprint marked by hesitation and unpredictable grip, Hamilton did what champions do. He read the moment. The intermediates were failing fast. Grip was non-existent. Leclerc had already crashed before the race start. Hamilton was barely hanging on. I was going nowhere, he said afterward. So he did the unthinkable. He gambled on slicks before anyone else. No team orders, no cautious delay, just a gut call. And that call flipped the race. As others stayed out sliding, Hamilton surged forward. The early switch triggered a domino effect. Cars began pitting in panic. Then came the chaos, spins, off-track moments, and desperate moves. But while the grid scattered, Hamilton stayed composed. He didn't overdrive, he didn't panic, he just executed. Lap after lap, the Ferrari, finally on the right tyre, began moving up. And when the dust settled, Hamilton stood on the podium with Norris and Piastri. Not because his car was faster, but because he was braver. This wasn't just strategy, it was instinct, sharpened by years at the top. After the chaos settled and the cars cooled down, Hamilton climbed onto the podium. Not just with points, but with purpose. You could hear it in his voice. I was so happy, really happy with the result. This wasn't just about finishing third, it was about finally catching a break after a string of frustrating weekends. Qualifying had been rough. The car was nowhere as he described it. And yet, here he was, spraying champagne again, proving that experience still matters. It wasn't looking very good through qualifying, he admitted. That honesty is rare, and it shows where Ferrari truly stands. Even Hamilton knows this car still isn't where it needs to be. But moments like these, they remind everyone, inside and outside the garage, that opportunity can still be created, even when performance is lacking. It's about timing, courage, and execution. Hamilton had all three, and more than that, he gave Ferrari a reason to believe again. Despite the joy of the podium, Hamilton didn't sugarcoat the situation. The SF25 still has issues, and he knows it. Honestly, I think we're not extracting everything from the car. That was his verdict after the race. It wasn't just about tyre choice or track position. The car, in its current state, isn't delivering what it's capable of. Hamilton believes there's good downforce. He believes the potential is there, but something's missing. I don't think we're on the same pace as the McLarens, he said bluntly, but I think we should be fighting a little bit closer, maybe even with Red Bull. It's a message to the team, and maybe to the fans. Ferrari hasn't hit a ceiling. It's just not using everything it has. Whether it's aero balance, tyre windows, or mechanical grip, there are layers of performance still locked inside the SF25. And unlocking them won't require miracles, it will require precision and belief. Hamilton's podium wasn't just a celebration, it was a statement to himself, to the engineers, to every single person inside Ferrari, because while some might call the result a breakthrough, Hamilton stayed realistic. There's a lot of elements we need to elevate, he said. That's not a vague comment, it's a precise call to action. He's not chasing random miracles or lucky weekends, he wants consistency. He wants Ferrari to be in the fight, Every race, every session. Coming into this weekend, we made some changes, but we have more to do to fight more consistently at the front. That speaks volumes. Miami wasn't magic. It was the result of risk, timing, and a driver who refused to give up. But one result won't change the season unless Ferrari listens. Hamilton made it clear. They must double down. They must unlock the car's hidden pace. We just need to knuckle down, he concluded. And when a 7-time world champion says that, you better believe he means business. Hamilton knows one podium doesn't fix everything, but it does something far more valuable. It creates momentum. And in Formula One, momentum can be everything. Every moment counts, he said. That mindset, right, of extracting value from every lap, every change, every risk, is what can transform Ferrari's season. After China, expectations grew. After Jeddah, they collapsed. Now, after Miami, there's a new question. Can Ferrari build on this? Can Hamilton lead a structured fight back? Not so come talento, mas come dirisom. Because the calendar won't wait. Imola is next, then Monaco, then Canada. Tracks with different demands, different challenges, and if Ferrari wants to stay in this fight, Miami can't be a one-off. It has to be a signal. The message is clear. Hamilton is committed. The car has potential, but the time to act is now. Because in this championship, every weekend is a window, and windows close fast. Lewis Hamilton stood on the podium in Miami, not because Ferrari gave him the best car, but because he made the best call. He trusted his instinct, rolled the dice, and it paid off. But now comes the real challenge. Can Ferrari turn that one moment into a movement? Can they find consistency, performance, and belief before the gap to McLaren and Red Bull becomes permanent? Hamilton believes they can. He's pushing, he's speaking clearly, and more importantly, he's still fighting. But what about you? Tell us in the comments, was this podium a lucky break or the beginning of something real? And if you don't want to miss what happens next, the drama, the breakthroughs, the strategy, and the raw truth behind the paddock, make sure you subscribe to F1 Prime News. Because here, we don't just tell stories, we tell what matters.